Kim Rosamond, Tennessee Tech.
What has your experience been like between being named the head coach and now?
The transition has been really, really smooth. I think when you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, then it tends to feel like home. And Tennessee Tech and Cookeville has felt totally like home for me. I can't say enough about how the community has embraced our staff, has embraced our team, the excitement that's building around the season. I can't say enough about the buy-in from our players and how they've gotten 2 feet in with our staff. And so it's been extremely smooth. Obviously, first year and with the change, it's always a little bit of a whirlwind, but overall, it's been extremely smooth.
Give me your general thoughts about the upcoming season.
One word that kind of hits my mind is potential. I think this team has a ton of potential, but the thing about potential is you really haven't done anything yet. It's just that. It's just potential. But I love our returning players. I like our newcomers. I like the mix. I'm excited about our athleticism, our strength and size at the guard spot. I think we can be a really good defensive basketball team, and I think we've got an opportunity to really make some noise in the league. So I think there is a lot of potential leading up to this season.
You mentioned a couple of things that you like, but what is the one thing that you most like about your squad this year?
I love their hunger. This is a really, really hungry group of young women. They, obviously hadn't experienced the success that they've wanted to the last couple years. So they are just so hungry to get this program back to championship level. We've been extremely demanding ever since we arrived in April, and demanded that they work extremely hard, implementing our culture, and again, with the buy-in. And so they've been like sponges and soaked everything up that we've kind of thrown their way. And so I love how hungry they are.
What do you think the biggest challenges will be for your squad?
Consistency on the offensive end. We lost a great player in Sam Howard last year who averaged 21 points a game, was all OVC pick. And so just finding consistency night in and night out on the offensive end. And you don't replace a player like that with just one person. We'll do it by committee. There may be nights where you have 2 or 3 in double figures, and then the next night you have 2 or 3 more in double figures. And I think that's what we've got to get to. We're not just 2 or 3, but actually 3 or 4. And so we'll do it by committee, but I think we've got to be able to find consistency on the offensive end, night in and night out.
Thinking about our conference, the OVC, what do you think the conference competition level is like?
Well, having played many of these teams, having played many of the OVC teams in past years and as an assistant coach, I have tremendous respect for this league, but not only this league, the coaches in this league. I think we have some outstanding coaches in this league. And so, I think obviously Belmont and UT Martin the last several years have had great seasons, but I think there's also a lot of parity, and I think night in and night out, anybody can beat anybody. And so I love how competitive this league is, and I think this could be a great year for our conference.
Looking at the rule changes, like switching from halves to quarters, what do you think the biggest impact on that was for the game?
I think there were a lot of positives. Obviously, I think the fact that we have now a standard 4-quarter format from high school to college to WNBA to the international level, I think has been a positive. I also think the rule of being able to advance the ball under a minute left in the game has added some excitement and obviously some strategy from a coaching standpoint to the game. So I think there's been a lot of positives. I don't know that I would necessarily be one of those that's saying that felt like it sped it up as much as maybe we thought it was going to. But I do think overall there's been a lot of positives from the changes.
Tell us about your non-conference schedule.
Very challenging. We open up with Wright State at home, which was a team that won 24 games last season, was competing for their conference championship, got into postseason play. We start a 4-game home stretch with Wright State and includes several very good teams. Obviously, we play in-state rival Middle Tennessee State, who wins championships year in and year out. Then we go on the road for 4 games and play UNC Asheville at UNC Asheville. Won their league last year, went to the NCAA tournament, and then come back home for 2 home games, and then go on the road again and round out our non-conference schedule at Vanderbilt and at Lipscomb. And so obviously going into an SEC opponent on their home court will be very challenging for us, but will also be very beneficial for us, and will be a great opportunity for us to play in a very hostile environment and grow.